And I want to tell this forum, I hope UN have set up UN General Assembly Resolution 448 that set up West Papua as self-governing territory. It is also in the Canberra Agreement in the Charter to say clearly the territorial the scope of the territorial of the South Pacific Commission in the Western include Netherlands and Guinea. It is West Papua. And our country changed. And after we declared independence in 1961 December, and then 18 days later, and then the nation sent their military to occupy. We have declared independence. We have military, we have police, we have government, and then because the U.S. money interest and they push. And then in 2012, Dr. Farley Toki, as the UN Permanent Forum also study and report, but never follow up by this forum. So I hope this forum must open the report of the Dr. Farley Toki as the chairman of the study team for Decolonization in the Pacific region. So I hope this forum must follow up Dr. Farley Toki recommendation. Only that. Thank you.
Population, and we were proud of that, and it's natural that our constitution recognizes and respects the existence as well as traditional rights of cultural local communities. In Indonesia, we have more than 500 native languages spoken, and we also have thousands of ethnicities. And these rights that we fight for along these days, not limited to lands, territories, and also resources. We are also committed, of course, to relevant issues discussed in this forum today, including on climate change, employment, economic welfare, and all the pertaining issues that we are discussing right now. Madam Chair, I would like to state our unwavering commitment in the promotion and protection of human rights in Indonesia. Indonesia is state parties to the international bills of human rights, an active member of Human Rights Council since its very beginning. We continue to extend our cooperation with the UN Human Rights Mechanism on SIGA. Madam Chair, I would also like to take this opportunity to recall two statements made before by our two colleagues concerning the issue of West Papua as well as on the issue of Mollucas. It is very unfortunate, Madam Chair, to see this forum has been utilized by responsible individuals and groups claiming to represent West Papuans. Instead of working together with the government, bring prosperity to the people of the region, what they have achieved so far is obstructing the ongoing rapid development, spreading terror, incitement, and also creating insecurity in the region. This cannot be tolerated, Madam Chair. My delegation also wishes to reaffirm the 1969 integration of Papua into the unitary state of the Republic of Indonesia by the Act of Pictures. It is recognized and accepted by the respective governments, by the UN, and by the international community of nations. It remains valid, legal, and irrevocable, as adopted by the Resolution 2504 in 1969. Even, Madam Chair, the Decolonization Committee reaffirmed this for many times, including last year during the high-level meeting of the G8. Therefore, the territorial integrity of Indonesia is without question. Rest assured, Madam Chair and colleagues, that the government of Indonesia continues to be guided by prosperity, justice, and rule of law, as well as respect for human rights and the specific interests of the Papuan community and all Indonesians, including Indonesian people in the Mollucas, which is an integral part of Indonesia. Thank you very much.
The Act of Choice or referendum in 1969, and their claim about the list of non-self-governing territory on 17. I want to explain how the list of non-self-governing territory today from the 80 to 60, because under the chairman of Indonesia, Dr. Martin Atalagawa, in 2010, he removed all from 80 territory to 60 territory. Before, West Papua on the list of non-self-governing territory according to the UN General Assembly Resolution 448 set up in 12 December 1950. But because of the mining of Freeport Memorial from US, they played the game in this building. So they killed UN Secretary General Hamas John. So he's planning, according to the UN General Assembly Resolution 1540, failed. Then they removed and they changed with the UN Secretary General Utan, and Utan pushed the Dutch to transfer the administration of West Papua to Indonesia. Together with John F. Kennedy, they pushed that to transfer the administration. So, according to the General Assembly, it is the UN obligation. So UN must process, to continue to process the non-self-governing authority. So that's why I said from the list of 80 to 60. And then the second is about the act of choice or the referendum in 1969. The United Nations never do this referendum. They let Indonesia, because US has arranged this here, and then let Indonesians doing the referendum in West Papua. And then finally they changed the international practice, they changed to consultation system only. And then the Indonesian military under General Ali Murtopo, they choose 1,025 people and they set up them in the dormitory in the military, and nobody forbidden to visit there. And then after, in the referendum, the Ortiz Fernando from US UN representative also, he rejected the referendum. But how UN General Assembly set up the resolution 2004? Yeah. Because of the mining make my people suffering. According to the United Nations, to the Dutch Foreign Minister report to the UN session in 1960 about the process of decolonization of West Papua, in the list they said clear West Papua is 1 million. But under Indonesian occupation, and then in 1963, from 63 Indonesia control to 1969 before the referendum, our population decreased 500,000 people because Indonesia doing military operation from there. So my people killed more 500,000, and then some of them refugees in the border near the Papua New Guinea today, maybe 50,000 people over there, and then another went to Netherlands, Australia, and you also come to the US because of this mining make people suffering. So the referendum is illegal. That UN never do referendum like a consultation like this. I never see like in Sudan, in East Timor, yes also. So I reject the claim about the act of choice is legal. No. And then the list of non-self-governing territory from 80 to 16 is they play the game here because under Dr. Martin Luther from Indonesia as the chairman of the UN Special Commission on Decolonization. Thank you.
Well, the speaker mentioned about one of the UNGA's resolution with regards to the Netherlands, West Guinea, and there are others. There are a lot of processes that have been done after that, including the 1962 New York Agreement between the Indonesian government and the Netherlands with regards to the issue of West Papua, and then we have the referendum in 1969. Which then galvanized through UN resolutions as well, 2504, on that particular implementation of the New York Agreement and the decisions of West Papua being the integral part of Indonesia as the result of that. So this is the final process that has been done with regards to West Papua and its integration to Indonesia. And in the Committee of Decolonization, the Special Committee of the UN on these particular issues, where Indonesia is one of the vice chairs of the committee, is also limited to its mandates. It has clear mandates about what the committee can do and cannot do. And obviously, the implementation of those mandates are clearly defined by another UNGA resolution, which is 1514, and I think everybody here is probably aware of that. And at this point, the list of the non-self-governing territories is limited to 17 territories, and that does not include any part of Indonesia, including West Papua. And even with the 17 non-self-governing territories, we are still working a lot on this, and you have correctly mentioned that before last, that we are focusing on New Caledonia at this point, because definitely there are processes going on that, and then we have Lumea Accord, and then the referendum is coming in at the end of this year, actually, in sometime in November 2018. So again, with regards to the work of the Special Committee on Decolonization, the list is clear, and it's only 17 non-self-governing territories for areas. And another thing that I like to highlight here is the fact that the Pacific is also working on the way to address climate change. And Indonesia is part of the Pacific big family. As you know, we are a huge country with more than 17,000 islands, and some part of it lies in the Pacific areas as well. And we have a lot of Melanesians in our country. More than 12 million of the Melanesians are actually in Indonesia, and that's why we are constructively and actively engaged with our Melanesians as well as Pacific brothers and sisters through Melanesian Spearhead Group, Pacific Island Forum, and others as well. And I think it's, you know, besides other issues that have been discussed, it's also important to see what are the real concrete actions that we have taken in order to work on that climate change.
Administration, and then they set up a small self-governing territory. So, according to the UN Charter Article 73, must grant it independence for all non-self-governing territory. So, because the mining of U.S. mining company, Freeport McMoran, need our mining, finally they push Netherlands to transfer the administration of West Papua to Indonesia. Because of that, until today we still strike. And today, my army, West Papua National Liberation Army, fight near the mining. And yesterday, the Indonesian military, they using rocket and bomb to attack the village, and many people was attacked over there. And two people dead, and another, I don't know, they running away to the jungle forest of West New or West Papua. So I hope this forum was recommended to the UN Special Commission on Decolonization for relisted West Papua back to the list of non-self-governing territory. Because of the mining make our people struggle and suffering 55 years. And today we continue. And now my people protest, Indonesian government, they just protest, no using anything, just peace demonstration. Indonesian military and police shoot them and then kidnap them and then jail them there. And today we still struggle, and we never stop until UN must responsible on their resolution. Because of the mining of the US mining company, interest to make my people suffering. So I recommend to UN Permanent Forum or recommended to the UN Special Commission on Decolonization. Because of the mining make US government under John F. Kennedy administration, they played the game in the referendum in 1969. In the agreement, Netherlands and Indonesia signed in this building, they signed and then they allow every people must choose if they give their vote. But Indonesians get out from the United Nations and then they arrange the referendum. And then they just choose 1,025 people. They choose and then they put them in the military base. And nobody visit them. And UN representation, Mr. Ortiz Fernando, also came over there. He rejected the referendum and he requests and every country here also in debate in November 1969, they reject the referendum and they asking must referendum again in 1975 together with Papua New Guinea. But until today, nothing. So I hope this forum recommended to the UN Special Commission on Decolonization. Thank you.